Jeff Nelson of Burbank High School, the national mark, and Eric Holst of Laguna Beach High School at 8:44.9 with the California State meet mark. Angel Martinez of San Gabriel, James Menon of San Luis Obispo with some very good times coming into this at 9:01.36 and 9:02.04.
I got some stories for this event too. Eric Holst, who was a great runner, who went to UCI. It's actually a sad story right now. He's in the hospital. He's had a brain tumor. He's actually doing quite well, I guess. But another thing about Eric is he hung wallpaper in my house about 10 years ago. Very versatile young man. He was a great runner in high school and in college. And I think he just, when I spoke to him, he said, I just didn't feel like I wanted to do it anymore, which is a shame. It's called burnout is what it is. He ran so much in school, 1,600 meters, 3,200 meters, every single race, every day, every dual meet, every invitational event, and he just burned out. He just finally had it, and it's a shame. He was a great runner. As we see again, a huge pack of runners for this boys 3,200 meters.
Number 22, just sliding in against the rail, is Martinez of San Gabriel. He has the best time, and carrying number 23 on his back, James Menon of San Luis Obispo has a very good time of 9:02.04, and Dave Hartman of Canyon Country at 9:05 wearing number 24. Also has a very good time, 3,200 meters, 8 times around the track. And we'll be checking on the progress of the 3,200 meter for boys, but first we'll check on this important item. The track and field meet continues after this timeout. 3,200 meter event. Field pretty well spread out. They're out in a pretty good time, too, 63.7, which might be a bit fast if you're planning to go around the track 8 times. We'll check the team standings. Boys competition, Compton and Hawthorne tied at 20 points apiece. Bakersfield with 16, Esperanza with 14.5, and 8 teams are there with 10 points after 10 events. I would have thought the score would have been Compton 30.
Well, they obviously don't have the 200 meter results in this compilation yet.
All right, for the girls, Morningside with 28 points, Rio Mesa with 26, Livermore and Dominguez 16, Serra and Cordova with 12 points apiece, and that is after 10 events. So there's 3,200 meter. Let's check and see who those 2 guys are out in front.
So they just dole those team scores out about 3 events behind where we are. So that Rio Mesa Morningside girls competition, the team competition, is just as tight as we thought it would be, as we see this 3,200 meters start to string out a little bit. And this really should be a competition between 2 of the best in the country. Both these guys had the top 2 times in the country, Dave Hartman and Angel Martinez. And,
well, Peter Nichols is leading, wearing number 25, and he and James Menon, Nichols of San Marino and Menon of San Luis Obispo, are the 2 guys out in front. They keep swinging that lead back and forth between them. But there still is a whole lot of running you have to do in this 3,200 meter event. Now you can see Martinez is moving up. He's in the number 4 spot.
Now Dina Drosen did the same thing on the girls' side. She hung back in 4th place for about 3 or 4 laps, and decided the race wasn't going exactly the way she wanted, and just decided to run the race in her own style, and it worked well for her. So we'll see what Martinez and Hartman decide to do. As you said, right now watching James Menon from San Luis Obispo leading this race, and now he's by himself. They may just be out there letting him do the work, letting him set the pace and run off of whatever pace he chooses to set.
We're going to have 5 laps to go. Menon continues to lead, running in the number 2 spot, wearing number 341.
It's George Rivera from Delano.
All right, James Menon continues to lead the boys' 3,200 meter event, and Martinez is moving up now. Angel Martinez from San Gabriel is in the number 3 spot, and although Menon has a pretty good lead, and he's going to have just 2 laps to go, they're better than halfway through this 3,200 race, and Martinez is going to have a lot of ground to make up if he's going to catch this man right here, Menon. Whether he can maintain this kind of a pace or not, I don't know. And a very strong race being run by James Menon of San Gabriel in the boys 3,200. That's Angel Martinez He is a very distant second. Now, if Menon, he's coming up for the bell lap now, can maintain any kind of, he's got 2 laps to go, excuse me. He can maintain any kind of this edge. Why, he's going to be extremely difficult to catch. In fact, I don't know if they can. Now, Martinez is slipping back into the number 3 spot. Martinez dropping back to number 3, and Menon of San Luis Obispo just continues to apparently run away with this 3,200.
It's Dave Hartman in second place. He's one of the people we would expect to have done very, very well.
He's got a lot of making up to do, though, Dwight.
Yes, he has. I mean, Menon has definitely broken from the rest of the people. Now, Hartman has broken from that cluster of 3. At least he's trying to break 3 as Martinez is now making a move. I don't think this race is over. Menon may have spent himself, may not have the kick of Hartman and Martinez, and was going to try and steal the race from the front by forging a hard pace. But now Hartman is closing the gap. Martinez seems to be having a little bit of a problem. It looks like Hartman is going to be the one that's going to try to challenge Menon for the lead with about a lap and a half to go.
Martinez seems to be laboring. That's he in the red shirt and the black pants, and he's running in the number 3 spot, but not picking up any ground on Hartman, who has cut the distance between the first place runner Menon and the rest of the pack, namely Hartman. It looks like a 2-person event, but Menon seems to be running free of any effort here, or big effort. They're coming to the bell lap, and Hartman sprinting a bit. Be interesting to see if he's got enough left to go 400 meters when they get here, and he's got about 420 to make up, and he's going to catch Menon. And now with the bell lap, Martinez in the number 3 spot, but a distant third in the boys' 3,200. Menon of San Luis Obispo out in front, and Hartman closing fast now in the number 2 spot. Hartman is from Canyon Country, and now Hartman is just about 2 or 3 meters behind and moving up on Menon, and now to his shoulder, and now goes by him. Menon, Dwight Stones, has run with that same stride and pace ever since he took the lead. Now he's trying to fight his way back on Hartman.
And Hartman, as you said, Tom, may have started his move a little early. Menon, just a grinding kind of runner, and I think Hartman would have said, hey, this guy has no sprint. I'm just going to blow by him. Menon tried to respond, but I don't think that he has it. Hartman,
I don't think he's got a kick left, no.
No, and Hartman still has a kick. What a gutty performance by Dave Hartman. He measured the competition well. Look at him sprint, even though he has this race won easily. Look at him sprint the home stretch. It's just broken James Menon in half. A 40-meter victory, if anything. And Angel Martinez trying to come up for a second, but he's not going to make it.
That's too late for Martinez. He'll be 3rd at best. And, of course, in the number 2 spot was Menon, who for about, maybe 2,800 meters had this baby won, and then just couldn't go the extra 4 against this kid right here from Canyon Country, Dave Hartman. What a great last 200 meters he put on, and he gets congratulated, of course, by the guy that he beat, James Menon of San Luis Obispo. Very nice, 3,200 for men, and unofficially at 8:58.4 for the winner, and that would be Hartman of Canyon Country. Back with more after this. Scene of the 73rd CIF Boys and Girls Track and Field Championships as it gets on to the cool of the evening. And we're nearing down the end of the competition here. We'll be checking on the team totals. And now a look back at that 3,200-meter event. Hartman gaining on Menon and gaining enough to go right by him. And what a kick he had, Dwight.
This is with about 300 meters to go. He put on a kick starting at about 600 meters out to close the gap that James Menon, who's now running second in this replay, had put on a grinding, grueling pace, an outstanding race pace. Dave Hartman had stayed back in the pace. Menon trying to respond to this challenge and gave it everything that he had left to try and stay up with the kick of Dave Hartman. But from 300 meters out, Dave Hartman was in almost a full sprint to make sure that James Menon didn't have anything left to come back on him on. And watch how he just lengthens this lead. Menon just basically gives up on winning this race at all. Hangs on for second, but Hartman sprinting to the finish, breaks 9 minutes for 3,200 meters, which is just an outstanding time, especially under these conditions. Ran a very smart race, or maybe just accidentally it looked like a smart race. It might have actually been not such a smart race, but James Menon took the pace out so hard knowing he didn't have the kick of Hartman and Martinez, but Hartman luckily is able to time his effort at the right time and came away with an impressive victory.